organizing a talk series, India Forward, since 2021, where we invite business leaders, political leaders, economists to share their thoughts on their selected area, which needs to be given importance as our country moves forward in its Amrit Kal, as the Prime Minister has mentioned. This is the 8th talk of the series, and the earlier speakers included Honorable Union Minister for Road Transport and Highways, Sri Nitin Gadkari, Honorable Governor of Kerala, Sri Arif Mohammad Khan, Sri Surjit Bhalla, Executive Director of India in IMF, noted economists like Sri Montek Singh Ahluwalia, Sri Suresh Chandra Garg, and Sri Gurumurthy. Each one of them had laid their emphasis on various topics as important areas to be considered in its Indian economy's march forward. Today, we are proud to have with us His Excellency Abdullah bin Damithan, CEO and Managing Director, DP World and Jafsa Jablali Free Zone, as speaker as part of the India Forward series. His Excellency Abdullah bin Damithan has been with the DP World for almost 2 decades. Prior to being elevated as a CEO, as part of his role as Chief Commercial Officer DP World, UAE region, he was responsible for all revenue generation activities, products and services offered across the portfolios, leading different aspects of the business, including ports and terminals, parks and zones, and trade enablement solutions. He is recognized an accomplished leader in the maritime and logistic landscape within the Middle East with commercial success around these industries. An effective communicator with strong leadership, logical and analytical capabilities with focus on innovative, customer-centric, and sustainable business models. He also sits on the board of several DP World ports and terminals globally and is also an independent director in logistic ventures. On behalf of the Cochin Chamber of Commerce and Industry and on behalf of all who have logged in, I extend a very warm and cordial welcome to His Excellency Abdullah bin Damithan for sparing his time to be with us today. Members would recall that the Government of India had announced the National Logistic Policy in September 2022. Targets for the National Logistic Policy included reduction of logistic costs comparable to global benchmarks, improving of logistic performance index ranking to be within the top 25 countries, etc. Members may also recall the recent announcement by the Union Minister of Shipping or the Government of India decision for further investment in Cochin Port to deepen the draft depth at the port. In the said announcement, the Union Minister had also stated that the transshipment terminal ICTT operated by the DP World is contemplating additional investment to raise the capacity of the transshipment terminal to 2 million TEUs. Last week, we had seen the press release of DP World launching its new vessel service, which is expected to strengthen the India-West Asia link to boost the South India connectivity. DP World has thus been a part of the economic activity of the country, and its actions are keenly looked forward, not only by the logistic industry, but the Government of India as well. I am sure the address by His Excellency Abdullah bin Damithan today would cover all these areas. I once again extend a very warm welcome to him and look forward to his visit to Kochi. I also extend a very warm welcome to Sri Praveen Thomas, CEO of the DP World Cochin, who had been instrumental in getting His Excellency for the address today, and the entire team of DP World Dubai who have made this event possible. I extend a hearty welcome to all the members of the chamber, invited guests from the logistic industry, press and media who have joined us today. Thanks to all of you, and now may I invite His Excellency Sri Abdullah bin Damithan for his address, please.
Thank you very much. Assalamu alaikum. Namaste and good evening, everyone. Thank you for inviting me to join you today. I have had the privilege of visiting India many times over the years, and especially Cochin, where we have our own DP World terminal, as rightly said, and every trip is made even more memorable as I am able to take the special journey between the city and the port. Unfortunately, I had to miss it this time. I want to use this brief to address today and reflect on the remarkable opportunity we have to build business together as the trade ties between India and UAE become even stronger, and at DP World press ahead with the rapid expansion of our operation in India. And I confess that each time I visited India, I am struck by the sheer scale of the country economic achievement so far, and of course, the huge potential for future growth. Already the world's fifth largest economy according to the IMF, there is a significant further growth opportunity as a country infrastructure for trade and logistics rapidly expands and access is gained to a significant new market. At DP World and JAVZA, we are fully committed to continuing to play a leading role in helping to drive these exciting developments. As you all know, DP World has long been recognized as a port operator, but today we have moved far beyond this traditional core business. We have rapidly transferred ourselves into a comprehensive provider of an end-to-end logistics solution right across the supply chain, as we say, from the factory floor to the customer's door. And this, of course, is the business that we are building in India. We are looking to grow our business in this important geography by establishing strong partnership, helping to drive economic development and empowering local community. India provides an ideal environment for our business expansion. To provide some context, I would refer you to our latest 2023 Trade and Transition Report, launched in partnership with economists in Davos earlier this year, which sheds light on the attitude of key businesses leaders to protect for growth in the current climate. And unsurprisingly, geopolitical and inflationary pressure remains the main cause for concern for most business leaders. Basic issue of cost efficiency are now being balanced by a focus on supply chain, which are sufficiently resilient to cope with the current geopolitical and economic uncertainties. Many business leaders are taking action to reduce the length of their supply chain for nearshoring and reshoring. The specific data which shows in the report is that give us an extreme reliability is it working?
Give them an opportunity to fix the camera.
Can you hear us?
I think they're having problems with the camera, so we'll wait until that.
Gentlemen, can you hear us? Very sorry. There was a technical issue, but we are back. And I think I was referring back to our Davos report that we're doing with economists. And I was mentioning about providing some context. I would refer you to our latest 2023 Trade and Transition Report. Basically, looking at this report, which sheds the light on the attitude of key business leaders to the prospect for growth in the current climate. The unsurprising thing was that geopolitical and inflation pressure remain the main cause of concern for most business leaders. Basic issues of cost efficiency are now being balanced by a focus on supply chain, which are sufficiently resilient to cope with the current geopolitical and economic uncertainty. Many business leaders are taking action to reduce the length of their supply chain through nearshoring and reshoring. But despite these challenges, businesses are still prioritizing growth through expansion. The specific data about India in our report found that over 60% of Indian companies are optimistic about the future of global trade, and 33% wishes to expand into more stable and transparent market this year. To give this some extra context, according to the IMF, India's economy is the 5th largest in the world. India's dedication to work with nations across the globe in priority areas as value chain, food security, maritime defense, and technology is therefore vital for accelerating the growth of global trade. India's liberal outlook for free trade agreement with developed economy and investor-friendly operation include 100% foreign direct investment in high priority sector such as ports and shipping have made it an attractive destination as a hub for logistics and infrastructure. And of course, India's technology talent pool is creating innovation that are solving pressing global trade challenges. Nurturing this growth will be crucial to drive inclusive economic progress. And with a domestic environment that develop products at scale and that is backed by strong bilateral partnership, infrastructure and logistics, India will continue to build on this and stand as a true enabler of global trade. In the UAE, we are more committed than ever to grow our trade ties with India. Dubai's plan for economic growth are extremely ambitious. Our D33 economic agenda aims to double the size of the economy by 2033, double the size of foreign trade, and add 400 cities to our foreign trade map in the next decade. India plays a vital role in supporting us in the achievement of these goals. As many of you will be aware, the Comprehensive Economic Partnership Agreement signed between India and the UAE in May last year have accelerated the potential for the growth of bilateral trade between our countries. In fact, as was announced recently, trade between India and the UAE have increased to $84 billion and is in the year CEPA was announced, trade was increased by over 50 billion. Our government are working closely to identify and act on further opportunity. Earlier this week in Delhi, the Minister of Foreign Trade and Commerce from UAE and India attended the first joint committee meeting on the India-UAE CEPA. This marked the 1-year anniversary of the agreement, and the meeting promised to unlock new opportunity between our two countries. Through the elimination of reduction of tariff on more than 80% of product lines, CEPA has created new platform for small businesses collaboration, promoting mutual investment flow, particularly into prior sectors and several significant partnerships have been launched since the signing related to energy, food security, education, and healthcare. India businesses also now have greater access to global production and manufacturing value chain in the UAE, granting access to newer markets in the Africa and Asia region, where, for instance, there is a high demand for high quality agriculture production. By enhancing market access, we reduce foreign investment risk, and it is easier for businesses and investors to trade internationally. Finally, the emphasis by both our countries on partnering in food security will create an additional momentum for value creation through infrastructure and logistics. Testament to this is the Food Security Corridor MOU, which has been signed by India Agriculture and Processed Food Production Export Development Authority and the UAE Al-Dhahra. This will create an enhanced and integrated logistic network to advance food export from India to the UAE and onward. At DP World, we believe we can play an important role in connecting India business to a new market. Our Jebel Ali free zone currently serves over 9,500 companies from 140 countries, with the Javza India route handling 19% of non-oil trade between the UAE and India, making it India's largest support ecosystem for trade. And more than 1,200 leading Indian companies currently call the Jebel Ali hub home, serving key markets around the region. Encouraging more companies to capitalize on this opportunity will be the key to fulfill our country's goal of 100 billion US dollars of non-oil trade between the UAE and India over the next 5 years. DP World own initiative, the India-UAE Bridge, was launched 3 years ago and will integrate our assets and capability to enhance trade efficiency across borders. This provides a seamless and efficient logistics solution and create new business opportunity in several key industry sectors like manufacturing, food and beverages, and healthcare. Moving forward, with our common goal, we have opportunity to grow much further together. India logistics sector is one of the largest globally, valued at 215 billion US dollars, and it is growing at a CAGR of 10.5%. To reduce costs and boost growth in the supply chain, we actively support many initiatives aimed to create a unified framework for the seamless movement of freight. This includes the development of multimodal network in India, including a multimodal logistics park, such as freight handling service, cold chain facilities, warehouses, and container terminal, and digital innovation, such as real-time tracking of vehicles to optimize warehouse management. These developments will ultimately help to increase the global competitiveness of the Indian logistics industry. At DP World, we will continue to invest in building a strong and sustainable end-to-end supply chain ecosystem, connecting production hubs to the ports and terminal infrastructure. To further enable cross-border trade, we developed Nhava Sheva Business Park, one of India's first port-based free trade warehousing zone project. We also partnered with the National Investment of Infrastructure Fund to jointly invest to 3 billion US dollars in ports, logistics, and related sectors across the country. And we're helping drive innovation through investing in our asset and service portfolio, including equipment, our freight network, inland container depots, and grade A warehousing facility to handle large vessel, double stack train, and temperature controlled cargo. And over the next 5 years, we are fully committed to creating more integrated end-to-end logistics service, which will deliver significant supply chain improvement wider market access, and further strengthening trade relations between India and UAE. We have remarkable opportunity to build business together, and I look forward to enhancing our existing relation to help you accelerate your business growth and expand your global footprint. Once again, thank you very much for having me, and I look forward to visiting Cochin very soon.
Thank you very much for the detailed points on the coverage of the India-UAE ties and the future plans of the DP World for ties with India. Now we'll move on to the question answer session. Most of the questions, we had received some earlier questions from our members, which we had shared with you. I think you have covered some of these in your address, but I would just take you over to the questions so that if at all something has been missed out, you can maybe clarify it. Shall I?
Absolutely.
What are the growth and development plans of DP World for the next 5 years in India? You had generally covered it. Is there anything specific you wanted to add to it?
Well, I would want to say that we have invested in several projects in India, and a few of that I have highlighted earlier in my speech, like the Navy Shiva Business Park, Rail Freight Network, Inland Container Depot, and Grade A warehouse facility. And we have many more plans in our pipeline. We also value the opportunity of growth in India, especially in the logistics sector, which is valued, as I mentioned earlier as well, it's around $215 billion US and growing. Over the next 5 years, we are committed to provide an integrated end-to-end logistics service in order to enhance supply chain and expand market access, and especially to strengthen India and UAE trade relation.
Thank you. What are the key challenges that are shaping the future of logistics in the UAE and India?
The logistics industry faces various challenges. This includes infrastructure development, technological advancement, skill development, sustainability, and e-commerce. But I believe that addressing these challenges is important for the sector to grow and meet evolving trade and consumer demand. There are also growing concerns regarding inflation, energy, and food costs. But despite all these challenges, optimism for global trade remains high among Indian companies. That's how I see it. And the industry challenge impact supply chain and demand for moving goods, but also creating opportunity for India and Dubai as a resilient logistics hub.
Thank you. How important is India-UAE trade to the growth of both countries' economies?
India and UAE trade is vital for economic growth in both nations. Our trade covers various sectors like oil, construction, electronics, and textile, promoting diversification, including job creating and increasing investment. The strongest bilateral tie extended beyond trade, encouraging development, collaborating, and strong relation. Non-oil trade has already reached $84 billion US, and I have mentioned earlier, and our goal is to reach $100 billion US in the next 5 years. And I am positive that India will be an active player in UAE D33 initiative. Additionally, the CEPA agreement that is already in place and the India-UAE bridge will further facilitate trade and strengthen bilateral relations for both nations.
Thank you. That is well explained. What are the DP World's target for growing the number of India business in JAFZA?
Well, we want more Indian companies to set up here in JAFZA. Indian companies are currently the second largest trade partner in terms of volume, and we are committed to investing in and supporting new Indian businesses. We will use our expertise and experience to help existing customers and expand their market through Jebel Ali.
India's national logistic policy aims to reduce the logistic cost to global standards and improve its logistic performance index. What would be DP World's recommendations to achieve these?
Well, India is already doing the right thing. But just to reiterate, every thriving economy like India must continue to focus in certain areas. This includes enhancing infrastructure investment and logistics infrastructure such as ports, road, and railway in order to improve connectivity and reduce transportation bottleneck. It is also important to invest and implement the right technology and embrace digitalization and automation in logistics operation. By developing seamless connectivity, whether that is through road, rail, air, or water, you can focus on last mile connectivity to ensure smooth movement of goods from ports and logistics hub to the end destinations. Something that Dubai has done to make it easier to do business is to implement a single window clearance platform system, allowing digital documentation procedures to reduce paperwork. And finally, investing in skill development. Establish training program in areas such as supply chain management, warehousing operation, or technology enabling logistics. A skilled workforce will contribute to improve the productivity and overall performance as we have experienced ourselves in India and other parts of the world.
Very well explained, and we take it forward from here that we look forward to the greater India ties between India and UAE, and especially with DP World. And with that, we end to the end of questions, and we take this opportunity for you to have spared your time to be with us today. And I now request our Vice President, Sri Venkatraman Anand, to propose a formal vote of thanks.
Of Cochin Chamber of Commerce and Industry, and on behalf of all the members, I would like to thank His Excellency Abdullah bin Damitan, the CEO and Managing Director of DP World and JAFZA, for taking time out of his very busy schedule to address us today. Thank you very much, sir. I would like to also make a special mention to the DP World team and the Secretariat of the Cochin Chamber for ensuring that we have a seamless process today. Last but not the least, for all the members of the Cochin Chamber who have joined this very informative session. And I would also like to thank all the support teams which have come here to make this process a success. So thank you, everybody. And sir, especially to you for really taking us time. And it was very informative. And I'm sure many of our members would have benefited and would be very keen to take things forward from here. And we ensure that we will see that the business between Cochin and Javalali increases in the near future. Thank you very much for your time. Thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you. Namaskar.
Namaskar.
Mm.